Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins on a quest to become the best NFL trio of all time. Can they survive in a franchise that doesn't give guaranteed contracts, that isn't willing to do everything it takes outside of their limited budget, that makes quarterbacks retire before trading them? Can this trio inspire this franchise to change? Are they willing to change? Well, let's pick it up at the end of the 2025 season, where Joe Burrow famously comes out and says, things must change. Thank you for checking us out. I hope you follow along and like the series. Feel free to leave some comments and suggestions on things you might like to see, maybe future series, and don't forget to hit the like button. Let's check this one out. We are doing this on all Madden, 7-minute quarters. And the front office hears Joe Burrow and decides, hey, we'll make change, just not in the coaching staff. We're bringing Zach Taylor back. He's got 2 years left on his contract. We don't make those changes. We're running it back one more time. Question is, if this doesn't work, will Joe, T, and Jamar be willing to wait another year and hope for the best? Or will they demand their way out and decide to separate and make their own journeys elsewhere? So what kind of changes can this front office make if they're not changing the coaching staff? What are they willing to do? Are they willing to finally address the scouting department and the way they do the draft and the way they've been attacking free agency lately? Let's take a look at the roster. We know the offense is great. You have Joe Burrow. You have Chase Brown, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Andre Yoshivas is the third option. It's pretty solid. And actually good O-line for a change for Joe, with Orlando Brown Jr., with Dylan Fairchild coming off a strong rookie performance, the crafty veteran, and Ted Karras. At right guard, Dalton Reisner was able to stabilize that position. And at right tackle, you have the young up-and-coming phenom and Amarius Mims, who really helps make this all go together. With no free agents set to hit except for Reisner, we must bring him back to keep the offense running the way it is. Maybe bring in some young offensive line talent through the draft. You switch to the defense. You have Trey Hendrickson, who's on his way out, with a couple young defensive ends who haven't hit their stride fully yet. A middling D tackle room with no real frontline starter or a real pass rush threat. The young, disappointing linebacker group who are coming off okay rookie seasons toward the end, but started off really struggling. You need some veteran leadership there. The lone bright spot, the strong cornerback room with Dax Hill and DJ Turner. Must bring them back and retain them and develop them. The missed tackle king, Geno Stone at free safety. He'll have to walk in free agency. And then the young Jordan Battle at strong safety. A few pieces that you can build around, but then you still need to add several starters. So what's one thing we can do different in this front office? Instead of letting Trey walk for nothing, let's franchise tag him, trade him to the highest bidder, and get something back for him for a change. The front office checks the only offensive free agent task in re-signing Dalton Reisner. The front office offers Trey Henderson the highest bidder, and it happens to be the Saints. They want him back. They're offering Justin Reed, a veteran, rangy free safety, plus a handful of picks to help the development of this roster in the future with some young talent in the draft. They also had Arnold Ebiketie, offer him a nice contract to hopefully do his best Trey Henderson imitation. Linebacker has to be addressed, so it's going to start off with Cincinnati UC grad Ivan Pace Jr. and also Alex Singleton to raise the floor of that room and make sure that we don't have a repeat of 2025 in that defense in that linebacker room. You had a slot corner with Alontae Taylor, and then you also need an interior pass rush that hopefully Neville Gallimore will provide, shoring up 4 starting spots on defense on 1 rotational piece, also adding Isaiah Pacheco to make it to where the draft can be best player available. And the front office does something different there too. They trade down, add picks, and add the best player available, which the free agent will allow them to do. And that's Warren Cosgrove, a rangy linebacker with a high ceiling and a high floor. Now you have 5 potential starters in that room, and the best ones will play. In the second round, the Bengals turned their attention to corner. They had LaMichael Sears, a rangy corner with high upside as well. They're making the theme of this draft athleticism, which is what they should always have done in the past. But again, they're evolving. They're changing. After adding a 3rd-round pass rush D tackle and a 4th-round wide receiver, in the 5th round they find a gem in Ben McCormick. Should never have been a 5th-rounder. Falls to the Bengals. They get lucky. He is a athletic freak with a quick development trait, and he's going to immediately be pushing for starting reps week 1. In the 6th round, again, they are going after athletes. It's what they should always have done. This is what they're doing. This is their theme. Mike Gross will add depth and a future starter at guard to this offensive line to hopefully help pave the way behind Dalton Reisner. In the 7th round, they grabbed a pass blocking center to learn behind the vet Teddy Karras. That means you have a young left guard, a young right tackle, and 2 rookie interior offensive linemen to develop and eventually start for this team. And you also have a young defensive tackle room with James Blaylock and Ben McCormick, who are really going to, again, raise the ceiling of what the D-tackle room could be. You have 5 linebackers with Warren Cosgrove, Ivan Pace Jr., Barrett Carter, Demetrius Knight Jr., and also Alex Singleton. The best players are going to play. The floor has been risen. The ceiling's a little bit higher, but you're not going to have the complete debacle that was 2025. You now have 4 corners with DJ Turner, Dax Hill, Alante Taylor, and the rookie LaMichael Sears, who, again, does not have to play right away. You can develop these guys. You don't have to rely on rookies to be great. And then Justin Reed and Jordan Battle at safety. But we need another pass rusher, and we're being different. We're going to offer our 1st-round pick to the Vikings for their 4th, and Jonathan Grenard for our other edge, and to really round out this defense going into week 1 at home against division rival Baltimore Ravens. Front office do enough to fix this defense? Will the coaching staff be good enough to ensure the 3-headed monster of Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins get a crack at the playoffs again and make as deep run as they can? Let's find out with week 1 against a supremely talented Baltimore roster. With the first 3rd down in the game, Joe Burrow drops back. He finds the rookie Carnahan open right over the middle behind the linebackers, gets the Bengals to midfield, and he gets them driving. The next 3rd down, a couple plays later, he drops back, and he finds old reliable Jamar Chase across the middle, who splits the gap, gets to the 1st down. 3rd down in the red zone, he drops back, and there's Chase Brown, now a receiver, complete back, but the Ravens will hold him to 4th, and he looks wide, and there's Charlie Jones for this first touchdown of 2026 for Joey B. But the Ravens want to answer. They make the young linebacker bite with a play action. Shades of 2025 all over again. Huge gain, and Derrick Henry is able to walk in the end zone. 7-7 game. On the next drive, Joe Burrow wants to answer, keeps the drive going, keeps momentum going, wants to let everybody know this is going to be different. He drops back, and there is Mikey G over the middle. The Ravens are worried about the 2-headed monster of T and Jamar, as most teams are and should be, but the Bengals have more weapons, a better offensive line. A few plays later, Mikey G in for the touchdown. We have one by Charlie Jones. We have one by Mike Gesicki, and the Bengals offense is rolling. But what about this defense? Missed tackle, wide open. Lamar Jackson down the field for one of the easiest touchdowns of his career. Uh-oh. The defense has new faces, new names, but looks a lot the same. And there's Joe on the next drive, sacked. 2nd and long. It's getting real familiar here in Cincinnati. 2nd and long, drops back again, breaks the pocket, sacked again. It's deja vu in Cincinnati. The fans are a little on edge. They're a little nervous. Lamar on 3rd and 7. A defensive stop. And Joe gets the ball back. He does what he does best and drives down the field. This time, he has a wide open Andre Yoshivas. 3 touchdowns, 3 different receivers, none named T, none named Jamar. The Ravens defense is going to have to spread out and respect all the weapons, because if the O-line can protect, he can find anybody. And the Ravens look to answer. 2nd and 8. Lamar swings it out to Derrick Henry, who gets tackled by the new addition at linebacker Alex Singleton for a 3rd and short. He looks out wide again. Tackled again. This defense is making tackles. Maybe there is change in the air. And here comes that man. After another quick drive, we have a 3rd and long, and they try to press Jamar Chase. You can't do that to that guy. Touchdown. And have a gritty. Lamar gets the ball back down 2 scores. He needs to make something happen, and he does. The Ravens, all they do is acquire elite talent at tight end, and they have another guy getting after it for them. And Lamar on another read option with Mark Andrews blocking the entire defense. And second easy touchdown for him. Lamar reminding everybody he wants to be a GOAT too. He can throw, he can run, he can do everything. But Joe gets the ball, up a touchdown, driving again, and he finds an out route to Andre Yoshivas, who was able to outrun and break a tackle for a touchdown with 1 minute left. Is that too much time for Lamar in this offense? He looks across the field and picked off by Alex Singleton. These linebackers are starting to make some plays. Maybe this is a different team. Maybe this is a new era for Cincinnati football, as they're able to put in a field goal before half to make it a 3-score game, really squeezing the life out of the Ravens offense. 3rd and 6, Lamar floats one up, picked off by Jordan Battle. This 3-score game could quickly turn into a 4-score game. And Joe looks to capitalize, this time handing off to Pacheco. The Ravens are worried about the pass. They're throwing it to everybody. Now the Bengals are just running, putting in heavy sets, showing we are a balanced team that can do it all on this side of the ball. Pitch out to Pacheco. Touchdown. It's probably a little bit too much for them to overcome. But hopefully they don't lift their foot off the gas like they have done before. Remember the Jets games. Lamar steps back, was able to squeeze it in, and there's nobody behind him. Touchdown. Hold on. They have a chance. He gets the ball back again. This time finding, again, a tough throw. Squeezes it in. Lamar making everything look simple. Hands it off to Derrick Henry. Makes 3 people miss. Easy walking touchdown. This defense may have some improvements, but there's still some holes they need to shore up. Communication needs to clear up. Joe needs to put this game to bed. 2 minutes left. Finds Jamar for his 2nd touchdown of the game. Bengals defense is dropping back to cover the pass. Lamar is able to find a seam up the middle. You might want to protect from that guy running. Bengals do the same thing again. So what's Lamar do? The same thing again. Easy opening down the middle of the field for another 1st down. He has 6 carries for 160 yards rushing. That is rough. This time scrambles around, throws it up, and the Bengals defender, DJ Turner, gets mossed in the corner of the end zone. The Ravens will go for an onside kick. They don't recover, and Joe Burrow and the Bengals are able to knee it out, victory formation, to put a stamp and an exclamation point on Week 1 versus Lamar and the Ravens. Joe, with a 148 quarterback rating, 500 yards passing, 6 touchdowns, no interceptions. He's starting 2026 off right. Jamar Chase with 2 touchdown receptions on his own. And they're forcing the defense to respect everybody. Heading into Week 2, they look to put the league on notice.